Good morning, good afternoon, or good night. So, when I woke up this morning, I saw all kinds of news about Jennifer Lopez. Apparently, yesterday she went ahead and filed for divorce from Ben Affleck. I'm not surprised. I honestly am surprised they got back together and lasted this long. And Jennifer Lopez is not known as being the most nicest person in the world. Now, I really don't care about Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck's relationship. However, I do care about the prior relationship that impacted another woman, a TikToker named Marisa Roth. Now, with her, I found it very interesting. I only saw a few things about her when it came to her videos, and that was a few years ago, and she was doing a lot of blind items. Now, blind items are not necessarily my cup of tea. I'm not saying they're bad. It's just like, for me, I like to deal with more facts, and a lot of the times, those blind items are considered to me like kind of rumors and stories. Now, a lot of them can be true because most rumors have a little bit of truth to them, but how much, who knows? Now, a lot of people are saying that she being Jennifer Lopez may be the cause of her passing away, and the reason for this being is because, well, let me go ahead and play the video about this. Give me one moment.
Is Jennifer Lopez responsible for Marisa Roth passing away? Because a lot of people are alleging that it's her fault. Now, if you guys remember, a few weeks ago, Kyle's account got banned, and there was a lot of speculation on why that happened. But according to this Forbes article, Jennifer Lopez was the reason why Marisa Roth's account got banned. Now, in this article, it states that several creators claim to have received copyright strikes from their TikTok accounts in response to their critical commentary on the greatest love story never told. Now, Kyle got it the worst because a lot of her TikToks contained footage from that project by J-Lo, and it was because of that her account got permanently banned. Now, this next part is key. Because her account got banned, she lost so much money from March, which affected her ability to access necessary medical care. Now, a lot of people didn't realize this, but she was living with colon cancer this whole time. And I'm going to play you a clip where she talks about that a little bit and how she blames J-Lo for this.
Estimating that, quote, J-Lo is costing more than 4 figures of income just for March 2024, unquote, which affects her ability to access necessary medical care. Yeah, I can't get a colonoscopy anytime soon. Can't afford it. And you guys already know I'm overdue. And I missed Colon Cancer Awareness Month, where I was going to use my 700,000 follower platform to talk about my experience. But, J. Lulu had a narcissistic meltdown. So that, she robbed me of everything. And if I die of colon cancer, it's on her.
Now, keep in mind, this is all alleged when it comes to J-Lo and Marisa Roth. But with this Forbes article that came out last month, and Kyle's video of her talking about J-Lo causing her unalivement, J-Lo is not looking good. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below.
Now, I find that pretty interesting. That came out around the time that an update about her status came out around the time J-Lo's divorce finally got announced. Let me get that off the screen. So here's the thing. Ben Affleck left Jennifer Lopez apparently months ago, living in separate houses, not going to events together. You can pretty much tell whenever a relationship is over with. And most of the time in a relationship, there are some key factors there, right? You're not on the same page most of the time. You don't communicate effectively or at all. There's a lot of things that go on there. You could tell those two are not communicating. It seemed like they were both using different love languages to express how they may care for each other. And apparently it seemed like Ben really didn't care for her at all, but Jennifer did everything she could to show how much she cared for him. Now, let me go ahead and dive a little bit more deeper into Ms. Roth's situation. Let me play this other video here.
Marisa Roth's cause of passing has been finally revealed, and I'm quite concerned that this information is just going to fuel more conspiracy theories about her passing. It was reported by TMZ that Marisa Roth passed from cardiac arrhythmia or irregular heartbeat from myocardial fibrosis. She was 36 at the time. You might be wondering, what is myocardial fibrosis? And it is a condition that involves the buildup of scar tissue in the myocardium, which is the heart muscle. Anything that causes damage to the heart can lead to scar tissue, and heart attacks are the most common cause of myocardial fibrosis. How could this have happened to Kyle? She was only 36 years old. Well, it turns out it can be caused by inflammation from viruses, toxicity from cancer medications, diabetes, or other sources, and several other factors. But one thing we do know is that Kyle did battle cancer at one point in time, And perhaps her fight with cancer did lead to this complication. This is honestly so sad, and I still see Kyle's videos pop up on my For You page, and every time I do, I just get really sad. He brought a lot of joy and entertainment to tens of thousands of people on this app, and may she rest in peace.
And that's the thing there. Is that on Jennifer Lopez that the woman, Miss Roth, was not able to... I'm trying to think the best way to say this. Is this really J-Lo's responsibility that Kyle cannot afford her medicine? That she couldn't get proper checkups? Because in the video I played before, it does show that that Kyle said that she couldn't afford any of her medicine because she lost her income because of J-Lo's strike over a movie. And if you want me to be honest with you, I would say yes. And the reason I say this is a lot of times when you're a celebrity, whenever you put yourself out in public, whenever you're in any type of leadership position, you're going to be criticized and scrutinized. You're going to be criticized by people above you and below you, depending on what level you're at. And at some point, whenever you're called to a purpose of greatness or you're in that spotlight, you're going to have some type of, you got to have thick skin. And I don't know when J-Lo lost that thick skin. I mean, she brags about being for the Bronx all the time. You know, there's stories of her fighting when she was younger in the parking lot of A Living Color. There's all kinds of stories of her overcoming all this other kind of stuff. Now, how true all that stuff, I don't know. But at some point when you're in your 50s, you would think that you have enough strength. Oh, hey, Gene, thank you for coming to watch. I appreciate you. I just noticed it. I got to make this chat window bigger. Anyways. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Jennifer Lopez. So with J-Lo and people criticizing her movie, I think it would have benefited her a lot more if she just would have laughed along with the punches and just moved on with it. But instead, she gave it too much attention, copyrighted a lot of creators, took away income from their pockets. J-Lo's a half a billionaire. She has been rich longer than she has ever been poor. In fact, her mother even won the lottery at one point in time too. I think that's after the fact that she became famous and started getting on, but her mom won the lottery too. So it's not like she had to take care of her mom, had that extra responsibility. It's just J-Lo essentially having to take care of her. Now, if you made something that was bad, and instead of just trying to silence people and taking away their income and their livelihood, you could have went ahead and took their feedback, you know, made a little comedy skit, went on Comedy Central, Mad TV or something, did a few skits about it, making fun of yourself, and most people would have been on your side because you saw that, you know what, you mess up sometime. Kind of like Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds knew that A Green Lantern was a bad movie. He talks about it a lot. In fact, he makes fun of it in Deadpool. That's just one of the movies he seems like he regrets doing. And in fact, I think he even said recently in an interview, he didn't even watch the movie in full, even during the pandemic, that he much rather watch a 24-hour marathon of Paw Patrol, which ended up being true. See, J-Lo is so full of herself at this point in time, it seems like in her life, that she cannot take criticism in any way, shape, or form. Ryan Reynolds took that criticism, took that on the chin, and then he went ahead and found his path. He found Deadpool. Maybe Deadpool was given to him. And in fact, even Deadpool wasn't the most, wasn't initially critically acclaimed to be the best movie, or not the best movie, the best character in the Wolverine film. They kind of jacked up Deadpool completely. Gave him some big old katana arms and have his mouth covered. Again, he took that character, made it his own, and now, it's made over $2 billion, I want to say. J-Lo missed an opportunity to grow. J-Lo missed an opportunity to connect. J-Lo missed an opportunity to be real. So for her to do that, and she had to know who this woman was. She had to know that, you know, she makes a lot of blind items and all this other kind of stuff. These celebrities, they pretend like they don't know a lot of stuff, but you know they watch this stuff. Come on, let's be real here. They got to. For her to go after a woman with cancer and get her account banned is ridiculous. And let's just say, if she didn't know initially, I know she had to have found out. J-Lo strikes me as a person to know that, hey, I'm being talked about. Let me see what it is. I feel like she Googles herself on a daily basis. I feel like J-Lo goes on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and see what people are talking about when it comes to her. And see what kind of supporters she does or does not have. So for her to act like she didn't know that Kyle did not lose. Kyle lost her account, and that caused her to not be able to get her medication or her medicine. That's a problem. Now, granted, her passing was not because of the cancer itself. It was because of heart failure that could have been related to the cancer because of the medication. Just like I played in the first video, that medication pretty much said that says that it can cause heart damage, and that's a very unfortunate thing. But I feel like that would have been caught and looked at if she would have had the money to go and get to those appointments to get fully checked out. Everybody knows somebody that had cancer, right? If it's not somebody directly related to you, it's a close family member or friend. That's just one of those things that should have been off limit. If J-Lo had that big of an issue with Kyle and her content, I would think J-Lo would have reached out to her and talked to her instead of taking her livelihood away. So yes, do I think J-Lo is, just to answer the question one more time, do I really think that J-Lo is responsible for her passing? In a way, yes. You've been a celebrity for over 30 years at this point. Taking criticism should not be anything new. Anyways, that was just my opinion on the situation. I'll go ahead and play this video one more time.
Kyle Marisa Roth's cause of passing has been finally revealed. And I'm quite concerned that this information is just going to fuel more conspiracy theories about her passing. It was reported by TMZ that Kyle Marisa Roth passed from cardiac arrhythmia or irregular heartbeat from myocardial fibrosis. She was 36 at the time. You might be wondering, what is myocardial fibrosis? And it is a condition that involves the buildup of scar tissue in the myocardium, which is the heart muscle. Anything that causes damage to the heart can lead to scar tissue, and heart attacks are the most common cause of myocardial fibrosis. How could this have happened to Kyle? She was only 36 years old. Well, it turns out it can be caused by inflammation from viruses, toxicity from cancer medications, diabetes or other sources, and several other factors. But one thing we do know is that Kyle did battle cancer at one point in time.
And not only at one point in time, in one of her last videos, she went into, I won't say a rant, just speaking about how she couldn't afford her medication and she missed some appointments that she desperately needed because of the missing information from J-Lo. Not missing information, excuse me, because of the suspension that J-Lo caused on her account. So anyways, that's all for me. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a great one.